Hello, Booktube. I'm Scott,
I'm not.
and we are Gunpowder, Fiction, and Plot. And what have we got planned today now?
Mischief.
Mischief. This is so our good friend Shawn The Book Maniac sent us a message and said it would be fun to exchange pages 112 of 3 books and see if we like the sound of the books.
He does a thing, and I don't know if it's his thing or if it's a thing that he stole from someone else when he's choosing a book and he's not sure if he wants to read it. And instead of like snooping about the internet and maybe getting a bunch of spoilers that ruin things, he reads a page 112.
I think it's really good to like just get an idea of the author's style and whether their writing
I think it's really
sits
smart
with you.
because it's going to be like by page 112 it should be sort of in the thick of some sort of action. You know, like you're not reading introductory so and so's name is. But by just taking that one page completely out of context, it really does force you to look at the writing style and whether that's gonna
Whether the words, the way the sentences are structured and
yeah,
stuff.
like all those base sort of things are gonna float your boat.
And it's like everybody talks about themes and plots and characters, but actually the writing style is probably the most important thing, I reckon.
I think that's a personal choice thing, but for me, the words are a big draw card. So,
Well, if you can't understand what's going on, or if you're just like cringing the whole time.
yeah. Anyway, Sean's done some projects, collabs like this before, and we'll probably pop some links in the description so you can see other books addressed in this same manner. But we don't know what books these excerpts are from. All we have is
Page 112.
Page 112, scanned and emailed to us with no context whatsoever.
Sean did say that these were Canadian books.
Ooh.
That's all we know. They're Canadian books.
So a bit of Canadian that's not Margaret Atwood, I would assume.
These lesser known Canadian books.
Yes.
Canadian books that he assumed we hadn't read.
Okay, so let's get cracking, and I'll read excerpt number 1.
So this is book 1.
Yeah, changed. From the colour of the toilet bowl cleanser to the colour of dust, Johnny will know what's up before I even open my mouth, thought Hosea. And it was true. Before Hosea could properly park the Impala in the tiny driveway, Johnny was out of the house and trotting towards him. So, he shouted at Hosea from about 20 yards away, "Don't tell me, I'm out, or am I in? Was I out, or am I out now? In or out? Out or in? What's it going to be this time, Your Excellency?" Hosea smiled and got out of the car. He was about to shake his head and say, "I'm sorry, John, there's been another mix-up at the top," when Johnny began to shake his head and clear his throat. "I'm sorry, John," said Johnny. "There's been another mix-up at the top." Hosea tried to speak again, but Johnny spoke first. "I don't get it, Hosea. Who's the Mickey Mouse at the top? And at the top of what? The idiot list? I feel like a Fisher-Price farmer with a Fisher-Price barn and animals. Some moron kid plops me onto the little tractor, stuffs me inside the barn, clicks it shut, and moves me to another municipality. Do I look like a toy, Hosea? Look, I bend at the joints. I've got arms, for crying out loud, and a hat that comes off." Speaking of hats that come off, thought Hosea, and removed his quickly and put it inside the car. He still hadn't figured out a way of explaining to people why he was wearing dead Leander Ham's hat. "No, I know you're not, John," said Hosea. "You're not a toy." Hosea didn't know what else to say. John stood there glaring at him. But I'm out, right?" he said. "Out again. Isn't that so, Hosea? Isn't that what you're trying to tell me? It's just that this particular piece of land is, well, has always been a real trouble spot. It goes back a long way, and the province is still trying to figure out just where it belongs." Hosea's hand went to his chest.
Well, I found this kind of funny, actually. Like,
Yeah.
It's weird, isn't it? My only concern is this might be like Dux Newbury, James Joyce weird.
I think that's because you can't see.
But I think that's because I'm blind. I suspect that this may be a bit of a humorous book.
Yeah, I thought it was quite funny. I like the dialogue. And the two characters seem like quite differently coloured, so that's nice. Dialogue is something that I think is very easy to be shit, so I think good dialogue is a win. I'd probably give this a crack from this page.
Yeah, I would definitely put this on.
I do feel my bar is quite low though. Like, I will read most things. I'm not like Shawn the Baler who's like, meh.
Well, I think it sounds like Shawn will read most things because he'll bail.
That's true. That's true.
But from this, I would give it a shot, and then because I think this has the potential to be quite good, but as I said, it does have the potential to be a little bit weird. And if it is a bit weird, I would probably bail on it.
Or it could just be literally about farming, and that could be really dull.
But But I think this sounds like something that I would give a crack to, and I would have good hopes for this. So,
all right, well, we'll see what it's called.
I would put this at a 4-star guess at the moment.
Ooh, 4-star.
That's what I'm going for. This is a 4-star guess.
I feel like this would be enjoyable, but I don't have high hopes that it'll rock my world.
I know you don't do star ratings, but can you do star guess ratings from one page?
No, it hurts me in the soul. In the soul.
In the soul. In the soul.
Are you ready for number 2?
2.
It's quite hard when it starts like right in the middle of the sentence.
This is like the first letter is a hyphen.
I don't know. Imagined worlds made real, worlds that hope itself brought closer and closer to becoming real through the vehicle of imagination. They were all far too engrossed in story to realize I was there, and when I crossed to the empty armchair, no one made a move. We sat in the flickering light of a dream made in 1962, breathless and silent as awe can engender, and lost ourselves in story one more time. Only Digger moved. He tapped my knee with a knuckle and handed me the Mickey in the darkness. I drank and handed it back to him. Our eyes shining in the refracted light of the television, like the eyes of miners in the depths, solidarity plumbed from the cracks, fissures, and tunnels of our world. And then there's a heading, timber. So this guy will be our money manager? I asked while we were busy eating the pizza Granite ordered once the movie ended. Yes, Granite said. He'll have you sign papers allowing him to take care of your portions of the money. Then, whenever you need to make a purchase or just need some money for anything, he'll get it for you. It works out well because he can arrange all the accounting, taxation, and investing business you want to do or need to do, and you don't have to worry about it. And this guy's a straight shooter, Rock? Digger asked. As straight as they come, Digger. He handles my business. He has for years. I trust him entirely. Granite leaned forward in his chair. For the next while, he told us about radio, television, and newspaper people that would be at the lottery office in the morning. He told us about how they'd want to know all kinds of things about us and what we were going to do with the money. He said that they had a right to ask those questions because it was a public lottery. He said that because of where we came from, there was going to be a lot more interest in us tomorrow and for a lot of days after. He said there was no way we could avoid it.
Oh, I'm a little bit unsure about this.
Oh my god. Really?
Yeah, can I have this?
No, I just want to read this out loud.
This is from this section?
Yes! Our eyes shining in the refracted light of the television like the eyes of miners in the depths. Solidarity plumbed from the cracks, fissures, and tunnels of our world.
Did this change chapter? See, I should have been reading this rather than listening to you.
Yeah, I feel
because I felt like that it started out really nicely and then it just completely changed.
It did.
It's a change of chapter in the middle of the.
Yeah, it's the end of a section and the start of a new one. But that writing is a little bit delicious, and they've clearly won a lottery, and I suspect are about to get ripped off. That sounds super interesting. I'm very interested in this one. Purely by writing style. Yeah. That one line is worth giving the book a crack.
That one line is worth giving the book a crack. So this one sounds like it's better than the last one for you.
For me, for sure.
I'm gonna reread this because I was listening to you, and so we'll edit this out. Sorry, I'm back.
Okay, good.
Okay. Yeah. I think I just got confused when you read it aloud because I didn't pick up on the change in scene,
yeah,
the
it
chapter
changes
flip.
tone quite quickly in the middle there.
Yeah. So, yeah, I wonder. I mean, going for the end of a chapter at the start of a new chapter, I feel like that's like giving you. Like, it should be giving you more information, but it's giving you less information because it's not confirming.
But you don't get to pick your page 112. It's 112, no matter what. It's not the page that best represents the book. It's 112.
That's it.
So stop trying to, like, strategize which page would give you better information. And what do you think of this page?
Just on that, when we were picking the books for Shawn, I remember one book we picked, and it had like 2 lines of page
it was
112.
a shit 112.
And so it does matter what 112 you pick because it was the end of the chapter and the chapter started on the next page. But on this, I like this. I'm intrigued by this. But I'm actually a little bit wondering what's going on in the storyline already, which I guess is actually a really good sign, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's a really good sign.
So yeah, I think this one is a winner. It hasn't like made me. You were gushing at one of the lines at the end, which was quite nice.
I really quite like the style of that end of a chapter or section or whatever.
He tapped my knee with a knuckle and handed me the Mickey in the darkness. I drank and handed it back to him. Our eyes shined in the refracted light of the television like eyes of miners in the depth. Solidarity. I don't like it when they do that with the words where they put the dash in the new line. Solidarity plumbed from the cracks, fissures and tunnels of our world. I also don't like it when I can't say the word because I stutter sometimes. And don't have to worry about that when I read.
Yeah.
But that's actually, despite my making a moose of it, that's actually quite a nice line, isn't it?
Yeah, I like it. It's
our eyes shined in the refracted
also
light.
A bit of a like solidarity of miners commie reference. You know, like there's a little bit in that makes me feel like it could have a few themes that are up my alley, as well as them clearly being able to handle an image.
And it's clearly got money as a theme. And this is one of my favourite themes in a book, money. Which I know we're not meant to be analysing the storyline that we get from this.
No, I think that you know, whatever clues you can get from page 112 to figure out whether you want to read the book.
I guess. All right. So, was that one better than the first one? Are you more likely to pick it up?
Yeah, for me it's number 2 than number 1.
See, I think that one just shades, but I feel like they're 2 very different books, and I would probably put them down to mood.
Yeah, okay. Number 3. Unless she had to drive a long way, like to her sons in Battleford, she liked to walk. It kept her going, she said. Dolly already knew Mrs. Zenko's kitchen, her cleaning bucket, her cooking bowls, the plastic containers in their orderly drawers. But there was a desk in the living room and bedrooms. Everything was so clean and almost empty over the polished floors. It was a nice, airy house to roam around in. The desk drawer held pictures of her children and a letter from her husband, who was dead now. Dolly read the first 3 lines and then put it back because she liked Mrs. Zenko. Then she felt so holy and proud that she went zooming down the hall to Mrs. Zenko's bedroom and opened and closed all the drawers in there, checking. The tops of the dresses were stacked high with 1,000 folded sweaters. Mrs. Zenko said her daughters gave her sweaters because she was always a little cold. The one Dolly liked best was white with big flap sleeves like wings that were meant to cross over and a little tie belt. The small jewelry dresser on top of the clothes dresser had square sections of wood inside it, each one holding 1 ring. She loved rings. Maybe when Mrs. Zenko died, she would leave Dolly her rings in her will. She probably had to leave them to her daughters, though. Dolly closed the drawers, leaving every ring exactly where it had been, because she would hate Mrs. Zenko to know that she had been snooping in her house. The thought made her stomach turn over, in fact, and without even looking in the bathroom, Dolly headed for the back door. But Mrs. Zenko came in the front. "Hello, Dolly," she said, and laughed. Dolly did not know why. "Well, hello, Dolly," she said again, kind of singing. "Hello," said Dolly. "Hello," Dolly said back. "Checking out my house, little mousekin." Dolly nodded. "Find any surprises?" Dolly shook her head. Mrs. Zenko left the yellow cart and put her arm around her. "You look through here any time," she said. "This is your place too, just like Clary's. Are you hungry?"
Oh, so we've got an orphan, maybe?
Who knows whether that's a child or...
It's an interesting narrative style if it's not a child. Like...
I mean, it could be someone who's neurodiverse or...
Yes, it could be.
Something like that.
Initially, I wasn't liking it because I thought it was... I just didn't like it, and then
Didn't like the perspective.
And then when I realised that I suspect it's a child, so we're going to go for a child.
Yeah.
When we realise it's a child, I have completely changed my mind because you're writing like a child, and I wonder if is this whole book from the one narrative?
Yeah, from a perspective of actually reading it out loud, that was a big block of text. That's not broken up at all. So
there was a lot of information that sounded like it could have been irrelevant too, and that is not my favourite style. So I think this would be the weakest of the three. I think that I would probably...
I think this would go in the middle for me. The character of Dolly is a little bit interesting. A lot of people object to child perspective narratives, but I quite like them. And I don't know, there's a bit of a mystery here. I'm interested in this.
You're interested? Well, I would, if you read it and liked it,
you would take my...
I would take your word for it. But it sounded... I mean, it's very hard to know if there was irrelevant information in...
It's the description of someone's house, but
yeah,
but it's actually a description of a kid snooping in someone's house. You're gonna get what the kid notices and what the kid cares about, and
yeah,
what captures their attention and draws their eye, and this kid clearly wants to steal shit. Seems like a mischievous little so and so. I think that's really interesting.
Yeah.
There's nothing in particular about the writing that's caught my eye. It's actually the character of the kid that's caught my attention.
Yeah.
Which means I could pick it up, read 10 pages, and that'd be the end of the story.
I think
it could be awesome.
If I was in the shop and I wanted to decide whether I would buy this book, what I think I would do is I think I would then do a page 76 check, or a page 204 check.
I would just buy it and see.
It's very simple, and I don't have a problem with child narratives, but the writing was very...
Yeah, I was going to say, there's not a lot in the writing that has really made it stand out, but I feel the scene that it was trying to do it is executed quite well.
Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to judge it without knowing the author's intention, and
that's the whole point of this game.
Yeah, it is the whole point of the game.
Completely out of context.
I know, it's doing my head in a little bit.
You and all your qualifiers.
But
you're gonna die. Sean's gonna read our 3 excerpts and go, "Nah, it's terrible." That's it. No discussion.
No discussion. It's terrible.
It's terrible. I didn't like it.
Yeah, I think that this one I will skip. That's my call. But
of the 3, I'm most likely to skip the first one. I really like the second one, and I would probably give this one a go.
So we agree on the second one. We disagree on the bookend ones.
Yeah.
I would go for 1 and 2. You would go for 2 and 3.
Yeah,
Will we see? What did we pick?
Oh.
I feel like I was much more happy to reject 3 because you said you would read it though. Like I have wriggle room if you say it's awesome.
That is one of the advantages of being in a
I suppose
couple who reads.
The other thing is, like, we're completely blind. You know, what you might do when you pick up a page 112 is you might assume that they're, like, you would have a little bit of background knowledge. You know, you wouldn't just go and pick up 100.
Well, you'd at least be able to see the cover.
Yeah. Yeah, but you would assume that you're picking it up for a reason.
I mean, maybe the reason is that Shawn sent you an excerpt.
Maybe.
All right. Number 1. A Good Boy of Good Breeding by Miriam Taves. A 1998 novel set in a small Canadian village described as part farce, part family saga. Taves is the author of 2 of my favourite novels, All My Puny Sorrows, and most recently, the incredibly powerful Women Talking.
I've never read Taves before.
Me either.
But...
Or heard of her.
Or heard of her, yeah.
And it's interesting how background information changes your perspective. I'm much more interested in reading this novel knowing the titles of her other novels.
Really? Yeah, isn't that interesting?
It's really odd.
See, I felt like when you read that out that it vindicated my decision to go for it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I felt vindicated and you felt like you maybe got it wrong.
Maybe.
That's interesting.
Alright, number 2 is called Ragged Company by Richard Wagamese. Wagamese is an Indigenous author from the Ojibwe tribe in Canada who died much too young in 2017.
Oh no.
Shawn's mum loves his novels, and this is her most favourite, published in 2008, about a group of homeless people who happen to discover a winning lottery ticket for $13.5 million. Oh my god, how can you not want to read that story?
That is an awesome synopsis, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, like, that's just... Yes.
Yes.
All of the excellent.
Yeah, that sounds joyful. The only thing that might be a little bit too simple a novel, but whatever.
I quite enjoyed the writing. So
yeah, I suspect it won't be simple, but like.
And the last one is called Good to a Fault by Marina Endicott. This 2009 novel. It's an oval.
It's a
This
typo.
2009, no, I just can't speak, novel opens with a self-absorbed woman behind the wheel of her car crashing into a car carrying a very poor, down on their luck family of 6, and what happens when she moves them all into her house to take care of them afterwards. Marina Endicott is an author, actor, and playwright, and she lives in Edmonton, Alberta at the time of publication. Ooh.
Well, that sounds vaguely interesting. It sounds like you would get perspectives from the whole family.
Yeah, and I like it. Gives me a bit of Cloud Street feels with the mixed families living together.
You do like a bit of Tim Winton.
I do, especially Cloud Street. Reminds me of my life. Which is weird because it's not like my life, but it is. But it's not.
We should maybe next month, maybe over the end of year break, we should buy these books and do like a vlog of us reading them.
Yeah, and see if we have ranked them
successful.
Correctly.
Yeah, that would be very interesting. So
I've got to say, definitely, Ragged Company is on my to buy list now for sure, regardless of whether we decide to do a whole thing. That is really cool.
Yeah, I think that was the middle book where I think that had the best synopsis for me.
Yeah, I felt it had the nicest writing too. So
yeah, that one. Well, we both agreed on it. That one sounds good, and an Indigenous Canadian writer.
Yeah, I'm into that.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, but
also, I appreciate that. I agree with Shawn's mum.
Yes.
Yeah, that's cool.
This has been fun. So I guess we're going to end up hauling all three of these books because...
Yeah, I think it's going to happen because we liked numbers 1 and 3 between us, and both of us liked number 2.
Yeah.
So we'll do that and
But
see how it goes.
I think we're of agreement that if we could only haul one of these books, it would be 2.
Yeah, number 2. Very good company, for sure.
But that is... After reading it...
Well, that was always my favourite, so...
Yeah, I was tossing up between 1 and 2. Number 1 made me... Well, it didn't make me laugh out loud, but I wanted to. I held it in because we were filming.
We sent Shawn 3 snippets of titles that we will not reveal because he doesn't know.
Yeah, and we have no idea...
but hopefully that his video is going up at the same time as this video is going up. So once you've finished watching this one, scoot over to his channel and check out his, where he completely obliterates the passages that we send at him. I'm sure.
He gets his suit of armor and his sniper rifle.
He told us not to send any of our darlings. So
Plasma axe.
We sent him some stuff. We'll see what he thinks. Yeah.
And that'll be fun. All right. Oh wow, this video has gone for a long time.
Oh well.
If you like this video and you're new here, hello, please subscribe. We are this awesome all the time.
And if you're one of our existing crew, thank you for your support. Don't forget to comment in the comments and tell us what you think of the 3 books that Shawn has sent us, page 112. Also, tell us what you think of this format. Do you want to swap page 112 with us? We would totally do this again.
Yeah, this was fun. We would totally do this with.
Yeah, it's a cool way to choose books.
Yeah. Let us know if you've read any of the books, and let us know if you would read any of these books based on the page 112.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, ciao.
Bye.